Hi, I'm Corey. Welcome to Creating with Scraps. Today is the 11th episode or 11th day of Build a Scrapbuster Idea Book. And today's two projects are what I call a 3-pocket full page and a top tuck. And I'm sure other people have done it, but I actually came up with a 3-pocket full page when I was scrapbooking a long time ago. And the idea was to put pockets on when I made a mistake, basically. So something on the page, I spilled ink or I smudged something or the image wasn't stamped correctly and I wanted to cover it up rather than wasting the page because I needed it to match with whatever was on the back or something along those lines. And so I took full page, cut it into pieces, or used scraps and cut it into pieces to cover up the page. And, you know, like in this particular one that I'm using as my sample, I've got 3 different pockets. Now, of course, if you've got a bigger page, you can do more pockets. But the idea is you can use scrap bits to build this. And I'll show you in just a moment how I did that, or how I do it, my thought process behind it. And then the other item is a top tuck. And this one is a top tuck with a fold down. It has the page drop down for the writing spot. And one of the biggest reasons I use top tucks and I make a point of creating top tucks is balance. I tend to, and I imagine others do as well, I tend to put a lot of weight toward the bottom of a page. I put heavier items at the bottom of a page and I don't balance the weight as much as I should. And a top tuck gives me the opportunity to put some bigger or heavier things, or more bulk, I guess, up at the top so that my pages lay more flat rather than just all chunky at the bottom. And I don't have a specific technique I'm going to show you with the top tuck, but just the idea that whatever scraps you're using, like the fold down scraps here, or my scrap cards, or stamp cards, or any of those pieces, put them up at the top. Be intentional about creating tucks that go at top to balance your weight and to balance your visual impact. So if I'm moving my items around the page from the top to the side, to the middle, to the bottom, to the whole page, I'll have a better visual appeal over the flow of the whole journal. Because like many people, I tend to start putting everything at the bottom. All right. And one of the most common times I use my 3-pocket full page, and again, it can be more than 3 pockets, is when I do something like this. So I've got this little journal, and I don't know if you can see it or not. See, I even made myself a note, do a 3-pocket full page, because I put it in upside down. And I could unstitch it and resew it back in, but I can also use the 3-pocket full page here. And my process for it, and I'm sure there's a lot of others, but my process is I look at the scraps that I have that are gonna coordinate with the other paper. So it's this paper line, which is the Tim Holtz Memoranda. And there's a whole bunch of different colors and styles and all those kinds of bits. So one of the things I could do, oh, look, I've got this, and it's a little bit different scale. So I could cut a scrap of that and put it over here for balance. And I may, but I want to look first at the scraps that I've got. Like, this is a really pretty, obviously I was going to use this as a tag or something, and I changed my mind because that blue rose is gorgeous. But if you look over here, there's a little bit of this blue. So if I were to put this down as my side pocket, that could work because I like the balance of the colors. And now I want something a little bit different so that it doesn't compete. Like, this looks like if I were to put this here for my bottom pocket, it looks like I cut it wrong, kind of. So I want something that's going to give me a different aesthetic. No, and I don't really love those colors together. And so as I'm going through with my scraps, I look at what I've got and what I think will work well there. Oh, I've got some little cards. Oh, look, here's this one again. I could cut that up. I could turn it back around like this, and I could do 2 pages exactly the same, and I could just cut this up into different pockets. That's a possibility, and maybe I'll end up doing that. Oh, but look at this pretty blue. Oh, I like that together because look, it picks up the blue there. And so I'll use a scrap of this and I'll piece it together. So for this pocket on this side, I'll take my notch or my divot out, right? And I'll glue down the top, the right side, and the bottom, okay? And actually, I'm going to grab a punch and just do it. This one's too big of a punch. Of course, I would grab the wrong size punch. And I'm going to guesstimate at the middle, and I only want a little bit of a divot because I don't want too much of my background to show. And then I would glue it down on 3 sides right here. Okay. And then I would cut this section down to fit right here. That's probably, this is 3-inch pages, so this is probably 1.5, so I need a 1.5-inch section right here. And then I need something a little bit different to balance it at the top. Do I want it to go horizontally or do I want it to go vertically? I think I like it vertically, and I think I like that color. So I check to make sure that I'm not writing more words upside down. Or putting more words upside down, and I would put this here. And then, no, that's a journaling card. Wonder what I have that there for. Picture, oh, that, no, too big, doesn't work. And I just play with it until I find a scrap that I like. No, too yellow. That's blue, but I don't really like that blue. It's too big. It doesn't, there's another card. That looks like a trifold. Just until I find one that I like. Well, that's kind of a cool contrast. You know what? I kind of really like that. Maybe I would end up doing something like that. And then again, I'll cut a divot right here, just a little one, because I don't want it to be too big, right? A little divot, because I want to be able to pull the tag that I'm putting behind it, the writing space out. I want to be able to see it, one, and to pull it out of the edge of the page rather than into the next page. So I would want it, I'll put this back where it goes. And before I glue anything down, I do a trial fit to make sure that I'm happy with what I've got and where it's going. And no, I don't like that color. Got another thing. I must have some ephemera over here. And ooh, that's kind of really cool. Different font. So maybe I would cut it right here and put that little tab bit there. Yeah, I think that's the one I would do. So again, on this one, I would glue along the top, the back, and the bottom when I've got it to fit. Put it all in, and then I'd have little tags that go in there. And that is a 3-pocket full page. Again, you could have made 4 pockets. You could have made 2 pockets. The idea is you're using the background in another section to cover the entire page. So there you go. And I had some questions and I don't know what I did with them, so I apologize. Hopefully tomorrow I will actually remember to write them down and get back to you on that. Thank you for watching and happy creating.